Joining us now is Meghan Lehman. She is the Regional Communications Director for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross, with us once again on the MegaCast. Meghan, thanks for being with us again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it. So at this time, continues to have an emergency national shortage of blood and the need for donations. It's always there. There's always a need for blood donations. The American Red Cross is always looking for donations of blood in a pandemic and not in the pandemic, but there particularly has been an emergency shortage of late. Why is that, and just how much is there a need for blood at this time?
So coming out of the summer is usually a pretty low time for blood donations, with going back to school and now people returning to the workplace. But this is the lowest point we've been at this time of year for over a decade. So this is really a historical low.
And so at this time, just how far behind is the American Red Cross in terms of being able to meet the need of these blood donations for the number of different reasons that they're utilized?
So the Red Cross does collect 40% of the nation's blood, but this is really something that is impacting the entire country, the entire blood banking industry, if you will. So this is something we're all working through together just to get blood donors out there. We're not necessarily behind, but we like to be ahead of it. So we need to collect 10,000 more blood products each week to catch up to where we like to be. A couple different types of blood. We have less than a half-day supply on hand. So the good news here is that this has been going on for several weeks now, and we have seen more donors coming out. So it is getting a little better, but we really need to keep on pushing to get blood donors out.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman. She is the Regional Communications Director for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross, joining us today on the MegaCast. And so in terms of the blood types that are needed, is there a shortage across the board, or are there certain blood types in particular that the Red Cross and other organizations that are collecting blood really need at this time?
We need all blood types to come out and donate. People that have type O positive and type O negative, we always need them to come out, because type O negative is the universal blood type, the blood that medical personnel needs in emergency rooms. So when people come in, they can give it to anyone. So we always need them to come out, and usually they know it because they'll get a lot of phone calls asking them to donate. And we have had less than a half day's supply on hand of type O at different points.
And so in terms of the impact of the pandemic, how has that impacted both the need for blood donations and the consistency or the volume of blood donations, I would say would probably be a better way to word it, that have come in over the past 20 months or so?
So as far as blood donations go, we've seen fluctuations throughout the pandemic. When the pandemic first started and we asked people to come out and reassured people it was safe, people really stepped up and did that. But as you know, different factors have come and gone over the last few months. And we know when the Delta variant, first hit in different parts of the country, that was a major impact for blood donors to come out. As far as the need for blood, there was, people were putting off elective surgeries, and earlier this year we saw those getting rescheduled, and that, increased the need to some degree.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman, the Regional Communications Director for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross, joining us today on the MegaCast. And so in a typical year, how does the holiday season impact both the need for blood and the amount of blood donations? And then how has that been impacted last year during the pandemic, and this year, how is that expected to be impacted?
So we are coming into this holiday season with this emergency shortage. So that is troubling. For the Red Cross, we kind of look at maybe less of the holiday season, but more of the flu season impacting us, because when people are sick, they're less likely, to be able to donate blood or to even consider donating blood. So that's another thing we're concerned about right now.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman. She is the Regional Communications Director for the American Red Cross, joining us on the MegaCast. And so at this time, who should be donating blood, and what sort of opportunities are there in terms of blood donation drives during the season?
So who should be donating blood is anyone that's eligible to donate blood. But we'd really like to get a message across to people that have never donated blood before to consider giving blood. It's really a pretty painless experience that takes about an hour of your time. You can donate blood all across Metro Detroit. There are blood drives in community locations as well as our donor centers across 3 counties here in Metro Detroit. So you walk in there and you walk out knowing you've made a difference. One blood donation can impact up to 3 lives.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman. She is the Regional Communications Director for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross today on the MegaCast. Learn more information, including where you can find blood drives in your local area by visiting redcross.org. Again, that is redcross.org. And so are there upcoming drives in the local area here in Oakland County that you know of that are coming up?
Sure. So we actually have what we call a fixed site. So it's a blood donor center in Bloomfield, so on Telegraph, that is pretty convenient location, but they are throughout the whole Oakland County area. So there's, churches and some schools that host blood drives. The Troy Community Center is one of the places that always hosts blood drives. So if you go to redcrossblood.org, you put in your zip code, you will find blood drives near your house and at appointments at the time that's convenient for you.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman on the MegaCast. She is the Regional Communications Director for the Michigan region of the American Red Cross. So is it just blood that's really in need right now in mass, or are there needs for, I know earlier on in the pandemic, blood plasma was something that was of great need as well. Is that still a need for donations?
So platelets, we do have a platelet shortage. So that's the clotting portion of blood, and a lot of cancer patients require platelets. They have to be transfused within 5 days. So that's something we are always looking for, because once it's donated, the turnaround time is pretty quick. In other words, we can't store them for very long. So anyone that's a blood donor already and maybe has been curious about platelets, that would be something to look at now, because we also have a shortage there.
We're joined by Meghan Lehman. She is the Regional Communications Director for the American Red Cross with us on the MegaCast. And so if helping people in need all throughout the U.S. Through the American Red Cross and your donations of blood and blood platelets or other is not enough of incentive, there are some other great potential giveaways or sweepstakes that people can enter in order if they are donating their blood during the next few weeks. Actually, that one has, I'm looking at my notes, and that has since passed. There was one November 1st through the 12th. There's another one still. People will have a opportunity to receive some gift cards now through the 23rd if they donate their blood, correct?
Yes. So now through the 23rd, a $10 Amazon.com gift card is what you'll get. We always have, some small incentives to thank you for giving your time and your blood to help patients. But really, when you walk out of there, the first time giving blood, you're going to know it's that alone is worth it. That feeling of helping someone in your community, potentially helping to save a life.
Well, Meghan, just another few minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know or to consider as we're heading into the end of the year and blood donations continue to be not only a need as they always are, but greater than ever at this time?
Yeah, thank you for helping us get the word out about this. It's just really important. There's people all over our community that need blood every day, whether it's a victim of a car accident, a mother that lost blood giving birth, or cancer patients. We all know someone that needed blood, or maybe we needed it ourselves. This is a time that people can really step up, give an hour of their time and help out their neighbors.
Well, Meghan, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.